The Rossi House, a paranormal pride tale. Have you ever felt that strange sensation of being watched even when you're completely alone? That creeping feeling that something in the darkness is tracking your every move? What if I told you that in a small, forgotten town, an entire family vanished inside their own home, leaving no trace, only eerie sounds recorded on old cassette tapes, sounds that defy explanation to this day? If you love stories like this, subscribe now to the Paranormal Pride channel, because what you're about to hear isn't just a horror story. It's a chilling tale that will make you question reality itself. The investigation begins. It was early fall when Alex Harper, a 35-year-old investigative journalist from New York, decided to dive into rumors about an abandoned house at the end of a dirt road on the outskirts of St. Bartholomew, a remote town in rural Massachusetts. Alex wasn't a ghost hunter for kicks. He was driven by personal pain. 10 years earlier, his younger brother, Tommy, vanished without a trace during a camping trip, leaving behind only a cryptic note: "They saw me." Since then, Alex had become obsessed with unexplained cases, turning his grief into a career of unraveling mysteries. He didn't believe in the supernatural, but in answers buried by human negligence. This house, built in 1910 by an Italian immigrant family named Rossi, could be the puzzle he needed to find peace, or at least a gripping story to boost his side hustle podcast. Local whispers about the Rossi House were shared in hushed tones at nearby taverns. Built atop an ancient Native American burial ground, the Rossi family supposedly conducted occult rituals in the 1920s to protect the town from an old curse. Legend had it they summoned spiritual guardians, but something went wrong, something that didn't protect, but watched. In 1953, during a stormy night, the family, father, mother, and 2 children, disappeared without a struggle, without blood, leaving only half-eaten plates on the table, and years later, strange cassette tapes, oddly anachronistic for the time, filled with incoherent whispers. No one dared approach the house since, except for curious souls who never returned the same. Day 1. The house breathes. Alex arrived at dusk, his Jeep crunching to a stop on the gravel road. The house seemed alive. Its windows, draped in tattered, yellowed curtains, swayed faintly as if breathing. The porch's wooden boards creaked under an unseen weight. The rusted gate hung half open, almost beckoning him inside. The silence was oppressive. No bird song, no rustling leaves, just the echo of his own breath, quickening with a mix of skepticism and a twinge of fear he hated to admit. "It's just an old house," he muttered, adjusting the camera on his shoulder. But deep down, he thought of Tommy, and that pushed him forward. He planned to spend a few days there, equipped with high-definition cameras, sensitive audio recorders, and a digital journal to log everything. On the first day, Alex explored the ground floor methodically. The living room, with furniture shrouded in dusty sheets that outlined ghostly shapes, a rocking chair that seemed to have shifted since the last known photo, and an old piano, its keys yellowed like rotten teeth. The kitchen was a time capsule, plates set as if the Rossi family had been interrupted mid-dinner, rusted cutlery, and a dried-up teacup. This doesn't add up, Alex thought, recording his notes. No signs of a struggle, but something took them. Ascending to the upper floor, the long hallways reeked of mold and something else, a metallic tang like oxidized blood mixed with sulfur. The faded floral wallpaper seemed to shift slightly when he blinked, as if hidden eyes followed him. He laughed it off, blaming fatigue, but a voice inside, maybe Tommy's, whispered, "Get out." He ignored it, focusing on the job. The basement tapes. The first sign of something wrong came in the basement late on the first day. The stairs groaned like old bones, and a lone bulb flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows. The air carried a burnt smell, mingled with rust. At the center stood a rotting wooden table, holding a stack of cassette tapes labeled with dates from the 1950s. Curious, Alex slipped one into his portable recorder and pressed play. A hiss gave way to a trembling female voice. "We see us. We see us all the time. They never blink." Then a child's scream cut off abruptly, followed by a low guttural laugh that didn't sound human. The tape ended in silence, but Alex swore he heard light footsteps behind him. Swinging his flashlight, he saw nothing, just darkness. His heart raced, but he rationalized its echoes in an old house. Still, he set up cameras at key points before bedding down in a sleeping bag on the ground floor, clutching Tommy's old crucifix, a simple talisman he carried despite his skepticism. Day 2. The piano plays. On the second night, after a day interviewing locals who spoke of eyes in the dark watching the Rossis, the silence shattered with a piano melody. Alex bolted to the living room. The dust-covered piano had keys moving on their own, playing a warped waltz, as if invisible fingers fumbled the notes on purpose. "This isn't possible," he muttered, filming it all. Suddenly, a shadow darted behind him, reflected in the cracked wall mirror. Alex spun, but the room was empty. In the mirror, though, the shadow lingered for seconds, forming a human shape, tall, but not thin like in legends. Instead, it writhed, as if made of living smoke, whispering in Tommy's voice, "Alex, come play." He blinked, and it vanished. For the first time, real fear gripped him. "It's not real. The house is messing with my head," he thought. But check the cameras. The shadow was there, recorded. Day 3. The endless hallway. Determined not to run like a coward, and thinking of Tommy, who never got the chance to escape, Alex pressed on. On the third day, he explored the upstairs bedrooms. The first was a child's room, scattered toys, including a teddy bear with eyes crudely sewn shut, replaced with black buttons. In the second room, an old wardrobe held musty clothes, still faintly scented with lavender. At the back, a yellowed note. "We summoned the guardians to protect us, but they trapped us here. They watch everything. Don't leave." The wardrobe doors slammed shut, locking him in darkness. Whispers filled the space, voices in ancient tongues mixed with laughter and sobs, one sounding like Alex's late mother. "Son, stay with us." He forced his way out, tumbling into the hallway, which now stretched endlessly, doors repeating like a maze. At the far end, a figure materialized. Not a generic silhouette, but an entity of writhing smoke, with eyes like pools of ink, blinking in erratic patterns, as if watching from multiple angles. Alex blinked hard, and the hallway snapped back to normal. But he knew the house didn't want investigation, it wanted company. The final night. The ritual circle. On the final night, in the attic, Alex found the heart of the mystery. A ritual circle on the floor blending Native American symbols with European runes, and in the center, charred photos of the Rossi family. In one, their eyes were scratched out as if erased. As he examined it, every door in the house slammed shut at once. The cameras captured static, and the basement tapes played on their own, a chorus echoing, "Stay, watch with us." The house warped, walls pulsing like veins, the piano playing frantically. The smoke entity reappeared, now more solid, whispering in Tommy's voice, "I waited for you, brother."
It lunged, and Alex felt cold hands pulling him toward the living room mirror. His reflection grinned back at him, a malicious smile that wasn't his, as he screamed. The aftermath. Days later, police found Alex's Jeep untouched. Inside were his digital journal with terrified entries, tapes with voices mimicking lost loved ones, and cameras showing impossible corridors and a smoke figure merging with Alex's reflection. One final recording captured his whisper, "They saw me like they saw Tommy." But Alex was never found. Some say he's still there, trapped as an eternal watcher. The Rossi House still stands, waiting for the next soul. Maybe you. What do you think that smoke entity was? A guardian summoned wrong, or something older? Drop your theories in the comments. Your idea might inspire our next video. If this story gave you chills, imagine what's coming.